It's moving from the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic across the fields of the Midwest. It has blown through the Windy City, over the banks of the Mississippi, and has spread into the Southern Plains. It has reached as far as the Great Northwest, on into the Golden State, and even found on the beaches of the Pacific. It is lacrosse, and it's taking the country by storm. It is how fathers and sons now learn to play catch. It is what today's youth are playing after school and on weekends. It's where boys become men, where athletes become champions. And for those who have chosen to embrace it, it means everything.
That was me playing catch with my dad.
That was me playing all day, every day.
That was me forever practicing,
waiting for my chance.
That was me.
That was me.
That was me.
Dreaming of one day
being a champion.
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 Being a champion.
It's Ward. Can he get free for a shot? Matt Warren. Battling. Pulls a trigger. He scores! With 12 seconds left, Matt Ward does it for Virginia. 7 seconds. Pizer charges. Byrne shoots. He scores! Jake Byrne scores for Hopkins! With 1 second left, can you believe it? Under a minute left. With Poskett chasing him. Paul Rablett's unsettled. Benson Irwin scores! He wins the game for Hopkins! The senior has done it! And Johns Hopkins is through to the final! Memorial Day gives us a chance to reflect on the brave men and women who sacrificed everything for this great country. Coming off the greatest finish this sport has ever known, we move to the national championship game today. Another huge crowd expected at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Presented by Warrior Lacrosse, it's Duke and Johns Hopkins. The winner will be crowned kings of college lacrosse. Hello and welcome. It's championship day. We've finally made it. Dave Ryan alongside my partner, Quinn Kesnick. Quite simply the most unforgettable game. Virginia Johns Hopkins, the semifinal on Saturday. Hopkins coach Dave Petramala tells us his team will not have a letdown. They can move forward. Quinn, is that possible?
I think it is possible when you look at their senior class. That clutch performance in the semifinals really triggered by their poise, their maturity. Kyle Harrison, potentially the National Player of the Year. Look at their record, 54-6. Great defenders, Chris Watson, the cerebral guy, the gritty guy, Tom Garvey, and then the heart and soul of this team, Benson Irwin. These guys have changed the landscape of Hopkins lacrosse.
The intense senior from Baltimore had the game winner the other day. Who can ever forget that? Watching Duke play lacrosse is like basketball on grass. Fast pace, fast break excitement, the offense so explosive.
Yeah, and that offense starts with their defense and their goaltender, Aaron Fenton, the #1 goaltender in the nation. So adept at controlling shots, getting loose balls in front, and then with his great outlet passes, watch the Blue Devils run. Nick O'Hara to Dan Flannery. Matt Zash, the old school midfielder, he can play offense and defense and score goals off the face-off. And Zach Greer, what a great story, 57 goals, the lefty sniper from Canada, the best freshman in the nation. Duke, they are the highest scoring team in lacrosse.
Let's not forget Matt Danowski, the nation-leading point scorer, held the 1-goal Saturday in the semifinal against Maryland. But is he ever dangerous? The first-team All-American has 15 points in 3 NCAA games this year. These teams have met once this season, an 11-10 double overtime thriller won by Hopkins in Baltimore. The Blue Devils say they want revenge. Hopkins players say, bring it on. It's Johns Hopkins and Duke, a national championship at stake. ESPN's exclusive presentation of the NCAA Men's Lacrosse Championship is presented by Warrior, the means to dominate. And in part by the Home Depot. You can do it, we can help. Historic Philadelphia and the oldest street in the nation. Elfrey's Alley. Plenty of history going on here, too, between Duke and Johns Hopkins. Third member of our crew, Janine Edwards, is on the field.
Dave, for these two teams, it's a lot more than a title or bragging rights. It's turned into a fight for respect. Duke head coach Mike Pressler made it very clear this week that his team, which is still searching for its first national title, came here to win 2 games and that they had a score to settle with Hopkins after losing that double overtime thriller to them in April. Pressler said, "I know we can play a lot better than that." Now Hopkins, they come here as the #1 seed. They're undefeated this year, and they've gotten the better of Duke in 9 of their 11 matchups. Incredibly, they're taking the underdog role. Head coach Dave Petramala said, "I don't know why Duke made it known that they wanted to play us. It's not about Duke for us. It's about Hopkins and winning our first title since '87. Dave?
Janine, there is plenty of revenge and bad blood in the air, leading us to our national championship game today. Duke's goalie Aaron Fenton said this is the last score we have got to settle. Getting revenge on Hopkins. What happens is the question. Let's go to the face-off now and listen in with Terry McNabb.
Just make sure you stay behind the line and stay off each other going in. We don't want to call this shit.
Take it away. Parallel to the line. Keep the ball in the middle. Make sure your hands are down. You're off the plastic. Okay? You guys win it. We won't take it. Here we go. Come on in.
Kyle Harrison, for the final time in his career, will take the draw in the white uniform for Johns Hopkins.
Get him down, get him down, get him down. Shot.
The first team All-American goes for the win against Matt Sash of Duke. And our title game is underway from Philly. If Kyle Harrison scores a goal here as part of his incredible run as a Blue Jay, his team is 15-0 when he has the first tally for the Jays. He's won the opening draw. The top 2 teams meet today at the link in Philly. They've been 1-2 all year long. First shot of the game and a first goal of the game for Rabel. The freshman Paul Rabel gets it going for Johns Hopkins. 1-0.
In Super Mo, this is the definition of pregame jitters for goaltender Aaron Fenton, who's put together a spectacular senior season. He's just late on it. Rabel with the isolation shot down the alley. And the first save is always your toughest as a goalie.
Keep it clean. We don't want to
The
call
freshman, a
violations.
future superstar,
Same
Paul
as the
Rabel.
first one. Here we go, guys. Down. Down.
Greg Pizer, who won that incredible draw at the very end of regulation the other day against Virginia, then dished off to Jake Burke for the game-tying goal with 1.4 seconds left. Wins this face-off head-to-head with Brad Ross of Duke.
I think when you look at this game, both teams, I give the advantage to their offenses in the half-court matchups. So face-offs will determine possession, and that is a huge storyline. All year, Duke has struggled. It's been their Achilles heel. Meanwhile, Hopkins will throw 3-4 spectacular face-off specialists at you.
It was Greg Pizer who told Dave Petramala, the Hopkins coach, the other day, with just seconds left. There's a turnover. Hopkins can't handle it. On the end line.
Step in.
He told the coach, I want this draw. And he did it and helped them tie the game.
The Hopkins keys for Johns Hopkins. Dissect Duke's D with passing. Clear the ball because the Duke Blue Devils will ride you. They'll forward check you and then capitalize on their extra man. Duke tends to foul this season. They've got about 69 minutes of penalty, so I believe the specialty situations are critical.
Great clear for the Devils. Sparked by Nick O'Hara, who had 3 points, a career best, 77 in blue. The only number 77 in Division I lacrosse, we're told. He gave Matt Danowski a hard time after the semifinal win. Hey, Matt, you're the first team All-American. I had more points than you did. There's Duke's first possession. And Dowd will handle top of the box. He is the transfer from Johns Hopkins. Matt Rakowski is a transfer from Duke. And it's Dowd scores for the Devils. They are on the board in the national championship game. Many have called him the missing piece, along with Zach Greer, to the Duke offense, and a team that went from 5 wins all the way to 17 this year.
If the first 2 minutes are any indication, we're going to see 20 to 25 goals. Super slow-mo. Schwartzman, the goaltender for Johns Hopkins, drops his hands. That ball was headed right at his stick. But too much thinking there as a goalie. You just got to react. And so right now, these goalies, I think, struggling with the big game that is the national finals.
Kyle Dowd played for Johns Hopkins, the 2003
That way.
national championship game, a loss by 2 goals in Baltimore to Virginia.
Step over.
Procedure call. Goes against Hopkins, and Duke will take it. Ross was in the face-off X there for the Devils. What a story for Kyle Dowd. 2 goals the other day against Maryland. An 18-9 blowout win in the semis for the Devils. They make their first ever appearance in the championship game here this afternoon. Cron. Right-hand cradle, goes for a shot, lost the ball first. Tom Garvey, the All-American, goes for Greg Raymond. The long stick, and it's a big battle. Anyone's ball at midfield. Garvey in his final game. A dish off, and Hopkins has an offensive end.
That's classic Duke on their ride when they forecheck. They turn it over, but they fight so hard to get it back. Hopkins is going to struggle all day going from defense to offense.
Lesueur for Pizer. How about Greg Pizer stepping up with just seconds left, telling Dave Petromola, I want this face-off. And Petro said, I'm going to go with you as one of the top face-off men they had. Pizer not only won it, made a great pass to Jake Byrne, who tied the game with just under 2 seconds left.
They could play that last 12 seconds another 100 times, and I'm not sure Hopkins would ever score.
Here's Mahler shot, great save. Aaron Fenton rebound, scoop just wide by Greg Pizer. Anyone's ball now. Fenton in a big battle right along that end line. What a fight.
Ball's loose. Blue hold. White ball.
Play on. Duke hold. You heard it from our officials. They are mic'd for sound. We'll hear from all 3 today. Matt Palem, our referee from Deerfield, Massachusetts. Doug Donovan, Ridgewood, New Jersey. Terry McNabb from Clay, New York, near Syracuse. Malo. Here's Kevin Huntley. He won the game last time these teams played, April 8th in Baltimore. Double overtime, 11-10. It was a thriller at Homewood. Stephen Pizer, the freshman, to his brother. That's a turnover. Hopkins gives the ball back to Duke.
A couple quick keys for the Duke Blue Devils. Win half the faceoffs. 50% would be great for Zash and Ross and Apetesano. Get the ground balls. I think they're a faster team than Johns Hopkins. I think they're a little more athletic. They need to win the ground ball war and finally utilize their speed from defense to offense. I think they need 3 or 4 transition goals, and that has really been their signature. But transition goals really start with making saves, and Fenton has got to have a good day.
Offside. Ball goes right back. Johns Hopkins takes over. The ball was triggered by Tony McDevitt to Fenton, 2 Philadelphia area natives. What a story. We'll illustrate with Tony McDevitt, 44 with a long stick, close defender, the sophomore for Duke.
Offsides violation. You need 4 guys always back in your defensive half of the field. A mental mistake early.
Feed down low. Huntley couldn't handle it. The long sticks trying to come out for Duke. O'Hara for Carroll. And they get the job done. Here's Douglas. They're outstanding. Short stick defensive midi. A walk-on. He didn't play his first year at Duke. Was getting his academics in order because he had such an incredible load of courses. And he wanted to do well. How about that? Grades over sports. Well, now he's become quite a star after walking into Mike Pressler's office and asking for a spot on the team. Makes a big play there across midfield.
Watching him in practice on Friday, awful impressed with his energy, what he brings to the table every day of the week. Played at game speed in practice. Very impressive in terms of his work ethic.
A lot of depth here for Mike Pressler's team early. Reed Seligman getting some time, along with Bo Carrington. He scored the other day.
I think the heat and the emotion of this game lend it to really kind of go a little deeper on your roster, and then given the fact that they've only had 1 day of rest also.
Devils in tight, they score! Two-1 Duke. Donowski equals his offensive output in the semifinal with a goal.
Matt Danowski driving up left-handed, posting up against Tom Garvey. That'll be our premier matchup of the afternoon. And you see the Blue Jays slow to double team. Remember, this is a defense that's very slide, very help-oriented. They're quick to double team, but obviously they left Garvey out on an island, and Danowski, their #1 point leader in the nation, gets it done.
First team All-American Mini against first team All-American Mini. It's Harrison and Zash, won by Matt Zash of Duke. He stumbles. Skipcandy and Harrison hit him hard.
That way.
Play on push call against Hopkins.
Step outside, step outside.
Duke and Matt Zash trigger play.
Here's the intensity, the fight. As I said earlier, the ground ball war. Those are the little battles that determine possession. And usually the winner of those little battles will win the game in the long run.
Down, has one already. Sharp angle shot, Schwartzman. Blocks it well. Jesse Schwartzman from just outside Baltimore. His brother Andrew played, and unfortunately for the Schwartzman family, went down the semis. Maryland lost to Duke.
He was last year's backup goaltender as a freshman at Hopkins. Coach Petromal is very tough on him, but Schwartzman plays his best when he gets emotionally going. I think he's been solid all season, really spectacular against Virginia regular season and Towson regular season.
Zash for down. Cross field play, quick stick score! Flannery got free and buries it, his first of the day. The junior from Garden City, New York, playing with and against several of his high school teammates today.
Watch Duke pick this Hopkins defense apart. If you freeze it right here, you'll see that there's a seam created across the middle, and it's Flannery.
Johns Hopkins takes a timeout. First of two they're allowed in this half. Dave Petromal uses the play stoppage here. The 8th-year head coach. As we see Nick O'Hara. Had a tremendous game the other day in the semifinal.
Yeah, with his signature neon Blue Devil pole. He's an offensive weapon also. So here's a guy who can play defense, but he also can get up the floor.
All the way down. That. No, he's early again.
Procedure call against Greg Pizer. Early to move. That's the official call. You heard it. Head-to-head with Brad Ross. Yeah, the X. They're the face-off numbers for you, Duke. 4 shots, 3 goals already for the Devils here in the first quarter. This has got to be exactly what Mike Pressler wanted to see. A good start. No intimidation as Thompson swings around for Ryan Marshall. Brett Thompson, the junior. A lot of depth on this Duke team. We talk so much about the front line attackmen. Danowski, Greer, Flannery. They've got more firepower than just that. Danowski goal line extended. Here is Greer, a spectacular freshman from Whitby, Ontario, Canada, 30 minutes from Toronto. 57 goals to lead the nation. And as humble as they come. They met with him yesterday. What a gracious young man. Thankful for the opportunity. Crom can't get free on Greg Pizer. Pass handcuffs his teammate a bit.
This is the second midfield. Yeah, second midfield. This is an excellent second midfield when you look across the nation. So many teams are only getting production out of their first line. But Crom's known for his speed. Thompson's a great defender. And then Ryan Marshall, the left-hander, can really push to the net with some strength.
Isolation play, Danowski. Flannery swings it around. Crom again with it. Left-hander, Zach Greer. The Canadian grew up playing box lacrosse, shooting at that 4x4 goal. It's a different target, tighter game. What stick skills? Crom is loose. Shot. Whistled wide. Backed up nicely by Duke.
Duke looks very comfortable. We talked about their transition game, but they also can play slow. So this is a team, as you took a look at our signature matchup, Tom Garvey, first-team All-American defender, covering Matt Danowski of Duke. And Danowski so far has owned that matchup. 1 goal and 1 assist for Matt Danowski.
Already, Danowski's equal his entire offensive output from the semifinal game of Maryland. From top of the box. Left-hand cradle. Trying to guard through traffic. Look at how patient Duke is and relaxed in the offensive set. I don't see any jitters at all from the Devils from this vantage point.
Excellent spacing on offense. 10-yard passes. Good field balance.
Thompson goal line extended. Marshall's shot deflected from behind. Greg Pizer got a piece of his stick. Duke backs it up, though. And because of the closest to it, when it goes out of bounds, the Devils keep it.
Changes on the fly right now, which is identical to hockey. The guys jump over the boards, and lacrosse they'll fly out through the substitution box, which is on the midfield line.
First team All-American. Zash is in, Lamedy is in, and Marshall darts off the field. Kyle Dowd returns. He's got one already. 3-1 Duke lead. Here's calling for it. The freshman fires. Stick broken up just as he went to try to put the laser beam on Cage. Wide to the left of Jesse Schwartzman.
This Hopkins defense has put up impressive numbers this year, but their weakness is that they're very sloughed and compacted on deep. They don't get out and play it and force you to get the ball on the carpet. They are just kind of a passive defense, and you can possess the ball against them for a long time.
Matt Danowski, son of John Danowski, the head coach at Hofstra, grew up on the sidelines watching that Division I program practice and play games. Now here he is on the game's grandest stage. What a story. Look at the possession time for Duke. Field entirely tilted the direction of the Blue Devils.
Precision offense, and Hopkins doesn't challenge. They don't step out and play it.
Lamedy, Zash a shot. Schwartzman a piece of that. Who's closest to it? Barely Duke. Great effort from Garvey.
Here's the save, jump shot far side. Schwartzman drops his stick down low as he does. That's a hitch. That's not exactly great goaltending to drop your stick down low, but he gets his shoulder blade. There's a close look at Jesse Schwartzman. Really showing me a lot of guts this season. Not the prettiest goalie. Has had his great moments and his down moments, but he really makes the big save when Hopkins needs him.
Honorable mention All-America. 2 saves, 3 shots in the overtime the other day against Virginia for the game. 8 goals, 11 saves against the Cavaliers. An absolutely unforgettable contest here at the link. Marshall back on the field. Crom, Wine, shoots, and a save, Schwartzman. His second of the day. Outlet on the money to the great Kyle Harrison. It's his final Hopkins game. Will he leave a champion? The role model in college lacrosse. Rabel bids for another, gets some pipe. Look at how far out of bounds that goes. Duke closest to it. They'll get the ball back.
Rabel, you saw him score earlier, right-handed. Probably the highest recruited player in the nation. Coming out of DeMatha, Washington, D.C. And that time he just works the left-handed alley with a crossover. Basically, it's like a crossover dribble, a right-to-left move, and he yanks it back. And he had Fenton beat, hit off the iron.
Third-team All-American, the freshman Paul Rabel. Born 85% deaf in his left ear. An amazing story. LeSueur, great effort. Zash at midfield will cross into Hopkins territory. Shots are 5-2. This is Duke's kind of game. Control the pace. Skip Candy tries to force the issue. Peter Lamedy. Out for Dowd. What a special moment this must be for Kyle Dowd against his former teammates. He was here once, as we talked about the 03 championship game, but it was in a Hopkins uniform. 2-goal loss to Virginia. Now he plays against his former teammates for a championship. Amazing. Flannery shot denied. Schwartzman, another big save. He shuts it down on a low shot.
Quick hands by Schwartzman there. The ball was bounced at his feet like a short hop in baseball, and he just snuffed it out. He attacked the ball well. He got his head down and his hands down. And that's kind of a confidence builder when you can scoop that up so cleanly.
Here's Saturday's unforgettable hero, short stick defensive midfielder Benson Irwin, who said, yes, I closed my eyes when I shot. It was lucky to go in. The game winner by Kip Turner, beating Virginia in overtime. But he'll take it.
Yeah, he's got 4 goals on 8 shots this season. Really the heart and soul, a very underspoken and quiet athlete. Played high school lacrosse with Kyle Harrison. Harrison gets all the publicity and all the media follows Kyle Harrison, but Benson Irwin is kind of the understated leader of this group.
Incredibly enough, Kyle Harrison, Benson Irwin share the same birthday, March 12th. Best friend from Friends High School. Harrison, a jumping shot. Jake Byrne closest to it, and Hopkins hangs on to it. Just under 90 ticks left, first quarter, our national championship game. Rakowski wearing that left knee brace, coming off the ACL surgery in fall ball. A former Duke player.
I'm shocked right now that Duke's defense is covering Paul Rabel with a short stick midfielder. Typically this season, teams have bumped long poles up to cover this great midfield unit.
Harrison tries to get free. Rakowski down low, looking to spin and fire, broken up first. Duke's long sticks can't bring it out. Good ride from Rakowski, and he's dumped hard.
It's down to push that way.
Play on, push call against Duke on their clear attempt. And Hopkins will trigger play immediately. Kevin Huntley out there, 24 in white. The son of Dave Huntley, the former great Hopkins midfielder. There's the Hopkins all-time record still for middies with 130 seconds and counting first quarter. Great close defense here. Rabel around the perimeter. Rakowski's pass for Jake Byrne is errant. The sophomore can't handle it. And with 24 ticks left, Aaron Fenton and Duke have one more chance.
First team All-American, left-hander, big goalie, 6 foot, 200 pounds, really fills it up. And talk about poise and the mental aspects of being a goalie. I think Aaron Fenton, that's what separates him. There are no highs, there are no lows. Steady Eddie, very good working with his defenders in terms of their mental preparation. And he has just kind of exceeded expectations all season long. If you asked me at the beginning of the year where Aaron Fenton would be, I would never have guessed that he would have been the first team All-American this year.
8 seconds left here in the quarter. One more chance for Duke, trying to get a shot off. Marshall forgot the ball. Irwin does the same, and that'll do it for the first 15. From Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, it is championship day. Dave Petromal and the Days trying to win the school's 8th title. Duke has never been in this game, much less won a national championship. Plenty of intensity, plenty of emotion, and great goal scoring will go into this title game. Who takes home the crown? Who takes second place? We find out this afternoon. The house that Donovan McNabb built, Eagles quarterback. They opened their season this year, regular season. Monday Night Football, September 12th against the Atlanta Falcons. The stadium opened back in 2003 for the beloved Eagles. Here it's all lacrosse we're talking today. The Duke Blue Devils, 10 appearances at 500. First time ever in this title game. And Mike Presser has told us his team is as relaxed and focused as they were in the opening week.
Yeah, they really have nothing to lose. I think somewhere along the line, I think it was the Hopkins loss regular season, this team said, you know what? We can do this whole thing. And coming off a 5-8 season last year, Mike Pressler in his 15th year, I think probably the National Coach of the Year. Take a look at Hopkins' NCAA tournament. It's been a while since championships. The last NCAA title back in 1987. And I think the big hurdle for Dave Petromal was that semifinal game, because prior to yesterday's game, Hopkins was something like 1-8 in semifinal games. That's a tough emotional game to win.
Lincoln Financial Field, a huge crowd. Number 2 against number 1, the best 2 teams in the nation all year, facing off for a national championship here today. Dave Ryan, Quinn Kesnick, Janine Edwards on the field.
He said, watch the move. Here we go, boys.
Set to open second quarter play.
Down. It's blue.
You heard it officially. Matt Zash, the blue team in Duke, wins possession.
You see the quickness on the whistle. You want to be quicker than your opponent. You can't jump the whistle. And then you see the great ground ball skills, the one-handed scoop by Matt Zash.
Janine, what's happening down there?
Well, I can tell you, Coach Dave Petramala with Hopkins is not happy, guys. He is all over the sideline here. In the huddle, he was saying, guys, what are you doing? He said, they are moving the ball side to side, and you're not moving with them. He said, you're letting them get down inside. They're dictating the tempo. He's not happy. He said, when they move side to side, you've got to move side to side. Stop giving them second, third, and fourth opportunities.
Dave Petramala, Janine, will never be at a lack for words, no question about it. As intense a character as you'll ever meet. And does he ever passionately want to win this national championship? Dowd, his former player, bounce shot. Schwartzman apiece. Airborne ball up for grabs, and Jesse Schwartzman, the goalie, has got it in his big goaltender stick. Brilliant play, 4 saves in the first half for Schwartzman. Benson Owen double team, great ride, here comes Duke. Flannery trying to scoop it ahead, bodies everywhere, big hits. And Pizer springs loose of the crowd. The elder of the two Pizer brothers. Hopkins, quick shot. And Huntley missed the target.
Huntley, the freshman, put together a nice little mid-season, 3 goals against Virginia, 3 against Duke. He was spectacular against Maryland, and it's kind of been a key for the Blue Jays this year, getting production from guys like Paul Rabel and Huntley. It hasn't always been Kyle Harrison doing the damage.
3 games, 5 goals, 7 points for Huntley so far, Quint. Had 3 goals, including the game winner in the second overtime with 1:05 left at Homewood, April 8th, when these teams met before. So he's been a big hero. As has this guy, Jake Byrne, won a goal the other day, feeding in front. Oh, Fenton, quick to the task.
This is where Duke likes to run, off of a save. Look at the aggressive pass.
McDevitt can't handle it, but just a piece off the tip of the cross, right to Greer. Lucky break for Duke.
Wait for him. Your breakout patterns in lacrosse, very similar to basketball on a rebound underneath the hoop. You want to spread the floor, be aggressive, sprint hard down the field.
Thompson for Marshall. Although they love to run and gun, they can be patient too in the half-field offense. You've seen plenty of that today from Duke. Thompson gets the pick. Raymond nailed Crom for his trouble. Give 33 and white Greg Raymond a lot of credit, folks. He talked to his teammates during the weather delay timeout on Saturday, gathered them all around and said, we can do this thing, boys. No problem. This is our game to win. At that point, they were down 7-6 after Matt Poske had scored for UVA. Well, Kyle Harrison scored right off the hop on the draw after the weather delay, and they won in overtime.
Momentum plays such a huge part in college lacrosse. Stringing goals back to back to back.
Danowski. Pinto all over him. Great matchup. Danowski backs in. His feed. Thompson lucky to get it. In the middle of traffic. Garvey another piece of that. Thompson thought about walking in. Tom Garvey, 30 and white, has had a pretty exciting week. On Thursday, he graduated from Johns Hopkins. On Friday, offered a job by Legg Mason in Baltimore. Saturday, he won the national semifinal with Virginia. How about that for a 3-day span? Pass broken up. It's not a shot. That means Hopkins gets it back. Great defense in tight.
Yeah, good defense.
Let him off first. Let him off first.
By Chris Watson, number 43. He's basically face guarding Zach Greer. Watson, the senior, 1590 on his SATs, and he's kind of the orchestrator of the Hopkins defense inside, but today he's kind of working double duty in the fact he's got to cover a guy like Zach Greer, and he can't give him any room inside.
Chris Watson starts his job at Goldman Sachs on Wall Street. High rise, Penn Plaza, New York Penn Plaza, right near the Staten Island Fairway. That's on July 18th. And some Hopkins alums and his future colleagues in the business world have been emailing Chris, wishing him good luck.
He talked about being able to play relaxed throughout his senior year, all his academic credits taken care of. He's got a job, and now he can just really focus on lacrosse.
Malo had a couple the other day. Been a big surprise offensively and stepped up the senior from Denver, Colorado. Trying to get free, stripped. Ward got a piece of it. Great play defensively, Michael Ward. McDevitt trying to come free. This is the real battle on the ground ball. Anyone's ball out there. One hustle. Incredible agility. LeSueur, how did he stay on his feet? How did he control it?
We spoke about a potential Hopkins letdown coming off that emotional win, and Hopkins hasn't played any games this season on one day's rest. Duke has in the ACC.
Greg Pfizer scores! And he charges, and Fenton has no chance. Second Hopkins goal of the day. The junior from Long Island ripples the net. 3-2.
Pfizer dodging underneath, but this all starts with the hard work by Peter LeSueur. Coming up with the loose ball, misses it the first time. McDevitt, he's all over him. He slides on the carpet, maintains his balance, and then runs for his life. And now watch the super slow-mo. Keep your eye on the ball. It'll probably go 5-hole between Fenton's legs. Yes, it does. Fenton may have got a piece of that. But Pfizer, one of the talented Hopkins midfielders, and a key for Hopkins is going to be able to score unassisted goals today. Do they have players who can run by their man, defeat their man, and score without an assist?
Face-off right at midfield. Mike Presser told us yesterday he and Jack Emmer spoke about 10 times between Saturday's semifinal game and the championship game here today. Coach Emmer was at the Army graduation Saturday, then drove here, so he caught the end of Game 2, the thriller with Virginia and Hopkins. Didn't see Duke and Maryland in person. But those two great coaches have been talking strategy a lot since then.
Mike Presser went to Washington and Lee, a two-sport athlete.
Down a shot, great save. Schwartzman, look at the outlet.
Very comfortable Schwartzman right now.
Look at the speed. Remind you of something like the other day. Irwin. Huntley scores! Kevin Huntley got free. And we're tied.
Hopkins taking a page out of the Duke transition game. A bad shot is a turnover in lacrosse. Sensational catch by Schwartzman. The lob outlet pass allows Benson Irwin to run underneath, and look at the triangle defense by Duke. And Huntley just kind of steps upfield, curls around his man, creates enough separation, and then beats Fenton to the near side.
We're good. Okay, gentlemen, down.
From Benson Irwin, the hero from Saturday.
Blue ball.
6 straight face-offs now for for Duke after losing the first few draws of the game. So that is a big storyline.
Matt Palin, the former Syracuse great goaltender, is our referee. Lives in Massachusetts now as the athletic director of a prep school there. He won 3 straight NCAA titles for the great Gary and Paul Gate at Syracuse. His first ever title game refereeing job today.
Yeah, well, that's because Syracuse has been involved so many years, and as an alum, he's not allowed to referee those games. So congratulations to Matt. And I know Doug Donovan's an outstanding young official also. He's only 29 years old, so it's good to see some new blood.
Marshall, just dogged by Benson Irwin. Ryan gets it back. From Danowski, feed down low. Flannery scores! Dan Flannery on a great pass from the top of the box. Danowski can pass in addition to bury it by Schwartzman. 4-3, 2 in the game for Flannery.
Dan Flannery, you'll see him sneak from behind the cage. You can roll it right here, roll it. You'll see the good defense by Irwin down below. The ball rotation up, over, and then freeze it right here, freeze it right here. This defender, Greg Raymond, is late getting down low. Flannery sneaks from behind. Nice stick fakes. Dan Flannery tore both ACLs, one as a senior in high school and then one prior to his summer at Duke. He's since had a knee scope, so he's coming. This guy who's fought through some adversity with 3 knee surgeries.
Does not wear a brace. Never has shown any adverse effects. Harrison with it. Big shot. Scores! Kyle Harrison goes high and beats Aaron Fenton to tie our championship game at 4.
Kyle Harrison Harrison's heroes are Michael Jordan and Muhammad Ali. Both those guys are brash and confident, but Harrison is soft-spoken, and he does his talking with his tremendous speed, sub 4.5 speed, and on the run, watch the athleticism. Look at the placement, full speed, the super slow-mo capture, and just how spectacular that goal is.
Who can forget the story of Kyle Harrison after last year's semifinal loss to Syracuse?
Here we go, boys. Down. Did.
Pizer and Zash. Zash wins, another flag is down. First of the day, a second flag drops. Kyle Harrison took a few days off after the championship weekend last year. Ball is dropped, that means we've got a penalty.
White 20, 2-0 white,
Bring it over here.
Slash.
1 minute slashing penalty. Greg Pizer will sit. First man up try now for Duke. Finishing up on Kyle Harrison.
1 minute slash, gentlemen.
Took a few days off. Didn't talk to anyone. Then emailed his teammates like Matt Rakowski, and Pizer is now in the box and apologized for what he thought was a lackluster effort on his part. He promised the coach he would never let anyone down again. Here he is scoring a big goal championship day. His team down a man though for the next 60 ticks. Dan Flannery, the team's leader. Extra man opportunity, EMO goals, he's got 6. Second best, the sniper Zach Greer, he's got 4. Zash. Lamedy tried the dodge move. Now it's Danowski. Danowski some time. Flannery's got 2 already. Danowski's 1 and 2 already in this game. Zash in the slot area, 10 yards in front of the goal. His stick broken up.
The extra man, 6 offensive players, 5 defenders in a compacted 5-man zone inside.
Precision ball work. Zash scores! The jump shot lefty, Matt Zash, first team All-American midfielder. An extra man goal for Duke, gets 5-4.
They call him Captain America because he can do it all. We've seen him on faceoffs. We've seen him earlier this weekend with an isolation goal. Watch the quick passing. Freeze it right here. The key to Zash's goal is he steps towards Danowski. Catches it, turns, knows there's pressure behind him, but he's moving towards Danowski, and that is a serious catch and turn while being covered. You almost have to know where the goal is before you shoot it.
Is Matt Danowski ever delivering here today, Quint?
Ball's out.
He's already 1 and 3. Apetizano and Braun take the draw this time in the X. Fenton climbs the ladder, makes a great play. However, his pass is errant. Turnover for Duke. Trying to clear out of its own zone. Those critical passes between the goaltender and the long sticks.
Fadeaway jump shot by Zash and super slow-mo. Schwartzman can't handle the heat.
20th of the year for Zash, the team's 4th leading scorer. The reason he's Captain America, he was the captain of that 19 and under team, 2003 in Baltimore. USA won the gold medal. Who do they beat in the final? Zach Greer and Canada by 9 goals. Greer had a tremendous run there in the 6 games. Greg Pizer was on that team too. He handles now, top of the box. Switches hands. Malo. Let's try by Douglas. Penalty flag coming. Quick shot, Malo. Fires it over the crossbar.
30 seconds back. Oh!
Michael Ward is guilty.
Technical foul.
Technical 30-second hold call. And a man-up try here for Hopkins.
Harrison and Petramala talking. That is our alternate official, John Kenny. I actually sat in on the officials meeting today. It was really, really interesting. Warren Kimber going over how these officials approach a championship game. They're just as nervous and as tense as the athletes, and it was great just to sit in and listen to what their chores today are going to be.
Hopkins man up against UVA Saturday in the semis was 2 for 4. Both of those goals came in the 3rd quarter before the storms literally came in, and UVA stormed over Hopkins briefly. What a day that was. Winding. Byrne forgot the ball. Jake Byrne, who tied the game with 1.4 seconds left the other day against UVA. Now the crisp outlet passing.
How about those defensive? Excellent skills. 40-yard passes by their defenders, all frozen ropes. They spread the field well. And that's a textbook clear right there. Very impressive.
You see Danowski hop back into the box. Has to do that to avoid the 10-second call if he's outside those lines. Inside, ball safe. All even, 6 aside. So a nice penalty kill from Duke. Mike Presser going very deep in the midfields today, using a lot of bodies. It is warm. We're expecting about 80 degrees for a high and a sun-splashed afternoon in Philly. Thankfully, no thunderstorms like the other day. That was wild. Red Crom, goal line extended, will reset. Takes a check there from Raymond. Shot and a score! Thompson gets on the board. Scoring depth from the Blue Devils, make it 6-4.
Brent Thompson, underrated as a defensive player, but watch the bench reaction. Turns the corner, and the perfect placement to the far post.
Love that look. They're all watching on the big screen. Here at the Link in Philadelphia, there are 2 Daktronics HD TV video screens. They are 27 feet by 96 feet. Those are huge. And Aaron Fenton, the goalie of Duke, told us, yeah, we give up a goal, our defense huddles around, we watch the replay on the video board to break down what went wrong.
Jamison Kester for Hopkins taking that last draw. Hopkins has struggled at the face-off X, but they go awful deep there. They got both Pisers, Harrison, Lou Braun, and Kester, and they'll keep rotating talent out there until somebody finally maybe gets a win and gets some momentum going. So expect to see big number 1 for Hopkins the next face-off draw also.
Yeah, he's about 6'4", 220 from the Syracuse area. Played very well against Marist in the first round victory for Hopkins. Didn't play much though in the next 2 games. Shot to score! Kyle Harrison does it again. His second of the day. He just needs an inch quick to get loose, and he fires that ball so high, Fenton had no chance.
He was an excellent high school point guard in basketball, and that's the same type of move you see from the top of the box that you'll see from the top of the key. Again, full speed running towards the net and lets it rip, and that ball just sits in the corner. There's his father, Miles, former player at Morgan State University, co-author of the 10 Bears book, and Harrison has had a stellar season. He's a Tewaaraton finalist, which is Lacrosse's version of the Heisman Trophy.
Down.
LeBron boots the ball ahead. Byrne, quick stick score, Huntley. What ball movement? Byrne to Huntley, and they finish to tie the game. 7 seconds between goals for Hopkins.
The impact of face-offs is undeniable. Braun pops it forward to the point man. Ball reversal. Huntley keeps it simple, goes with the overhand shot to the low corner. 7 seconds is all it took. An emotional goal that gets momentum running.
Duke calls timeout with 3:41 to go in this first half.
There's another look. Byrne scoops it up. It's a 4-on-3. Quick little dink pass. Braun to Byrne to Huntley. That's how you draw it up.
Nothing. That's a dive. That's a dive.
Second down. Zash helps win it for Duke. Matt Zash, full out his team. A pass instead of a shot. Look at the fast break Devils. They can't quite finish. Great opportunity, Danowski on the doorstep.
Flannery with the one more pass. Schwartzman playing his angles well, and you don't see Danowski miss that shot very often. He's got 11 playoff goals.
Okay, here we go.
Had 5 against Cornell, probably the finest game of his career in the quarterfinals.
Got 4 points today. He's 1-3 already in this first half. Tie game from Philly. Exactly what we expected. Very tight. The 2 best teams in the nation. 2 dreams. One will realize it. A national championship. It's Danowski. The right-hand cradle will switch over. Darby watches him. Captain America. The junior captain of Duke, Matt Zash. Down, free, about shot. Just over the crossbar. They are on a grass surface, but underneath there are some artificial tendencies. You can heat this field. It's hollow underneath, which gives it a bit of an artificial turf bounce.
Yeah,
for goalies.
that was strictly a quintessential turf bounce, the way the ball kicks up 6 feet in the air. This is a very hard surface underneath the plush grass. And Dowd has that beautiful overhand bounce shot.
Dowd triggers. Zash, great ball move for Duke again.
Easy, guys, easy.
Flannery for the great Zach Greer, who lost his father in January. His teammates rallied around him. Penalty flag drop.
That's it.
Field was there.
Personal
So is
foul,
Garvey.
45 white, slash to the head, 1 minute.
It'll be Matt Field.
45 white, slash 1.
The junior defensive midi for Hopkins, sitting for the next minute.
He will club him right there on the head.
We're gonna have it out here.
Doug Donovan makes the call. He's right there. He can see it. He can hear it. An obvious slashing violation created by the quickness of Zach Greer, the in and out movement. That was an attempted stick check, obviously, but as Greer moved, the target changed, and he pegged him right in the helmet.
The all-time Duke and ACC single-season goal-scoring record, Zach Greer from Ontario, Canada. And you talk to him, I tell you, wouldn't even guess he's such a superstar. As humble as they come. Duke cashed in. Zash has a man-up goal already for them. He handles behind the cage. Great Matt Danowski. Lomity and Greer. Danowski feeding Zash. The jump shot scores! They've run that play twice. Another extra man tally. And Duke must be thinking all day long if we can get that to work for us. 7-6.
Carbon copy of the earlier goal. Danowski is up top right here. He catches. You'll see Zash flash forward, catch, turn, and fire. I think if you're Johns Hopkins defense, look at the ISO. Excellent movement by Zash. He's not just standing still, he's moving around. I think if you're Johns Hopkins now with Danowski getting all these assists, you really got to put a little more pressure on him. Take him out of his comfort zone so he can't distribute to guys like Matt Zash.
Danowski has 4 assists already. Kaiser. The sophomore team clown, Jake Byrne, will back it out for LeSueur. He missed some action with an ankle problem to Peter LeSueur from Garden City, Long Island. He's got a job lined up at a bank in Midtown Manhattan. July 18th, same day Chris Watson starts his job for Goldman Sachs. These guys are all set with their careers, but for today, it's lacrosse. 1 minute to go in the half.
55 seconds, Brett. I'm on, needed 2.
Byrne, the incredible hero, one of them, Saturday for Hopkins. LeSueur. Huntley for Rabel, a freshman. Harrison got a lunge for that one. Free ball, McDevitt. The Philly native sends it up for grabs, way downfield, and easily caught by the Hopkins goalie Schwartzman. Now it's Rakowski.
Back up, coach, back up.
Big line and shot missed there. Target just off the mark from Huntley.
Back up, back up. Go back.
Those under-19 championships, Kevin Huntley competed for Team Canada. His dad Dave is from Canada. A great midfielder for Hopkins. 10 seconds left in the half. Pass for Rakowski, can't find the handle. Free ball, 5 ticks left. Garvey will try to scoop it free. McDevitt gets in the way of Harrison, and that'll do it for the first 30 minutes from the link. Big hero for Duke, Matt Danowski, explodes for 5 points. He's 1-4. 2 goals for Zash, both on EMO. Flannery has 2 tallies. Harrison and Huntley 2 each for Hopkins. Janine Mike Pressler had his players wear EEE t-shirts, extra empty. That means empty the tank. Warm-ups before the game today. They don't want to leave anything on the field. He hopes to have a championship, Duke's first ever. Dave Revson on the backside of the break in the studio, coming your way. Harrison and Zash, the draw on the X. Matt Zash, the great first half, wins the opener of our second half here. 30 minutes to play to declare a national champion. Number 1 against number 2.
I think a big surprise, Duke handling Hopkins at the face-off X now. I believe they've won 10 of the draws in this game. Combination of Zash, Brad Ross, and a Pedisano. The 3-headed monster. 3-pronged attack for Mike Pressler.
Zash was 4 for 8. Saturday's semifinal win, the trouncing of Maryland 18-9. Here he handles it. Top of the box, the right-hand cradle. Harrison all over him. A couple of first-team midfielders, All-Americans right there. Greer a battle. Schwartzman out of the cage. Jesse double-teamed. He's fair game there. Goalies can be hit. Off to Skakandi. And Harrison has room and space. Kyle redistributed that email he had sent out last year when they lost in the semifinals to Syracuse 15-9. Just a little refresher, he told us. I wanted to make sure my teammates remembered the pain we all felt last year. Well, they're through to the final now. 1 step away from that coveted championship.
You mentioned the EEE, the extra. And when we talked to Mike Pressler this week, and you gotta love talking to these coaches, he said you got your whole life to rest. These guys are 18, 19, and 20. They're resilient. They've still got a lot of juice in the tank.
Rokowski trying to get free. The former Duke player missed the target. Backed up nicely there by Huntley. Sophomore actually competed for Team Canada. And Coach Gary Gate, that under-19 team. His dad Dave said, when Gary Gate asks you to do something, you do it. No questions asked. The Canadian team lost that weekend in Baltimore, the under-19 World Championships. Now, playing for national championship is Kevin Huntley. Harrison forgot the ball, great play. Nick O'Hara with a long stick. He was brilliant offensively the other day. Now he carries it himself. In front, Danowski scores! Matt Danowski has had an unbelievable game. He has got 6 points. He's 2-4, and Duke leads by 2. Fast break lacrosse to perfection.
The 46,000 fans here on their feet. They love it. It's Nick O'Hara. He picks Harrison's pocket. Great scoop right there. Avoids the check. The aggressive pass to Greer. Slicing and dicing transition. Watch this shot by Danowski. Catches it. Schwartzman goes for the kick save. But that starts with the D, and that is the signature of this Duke Blue Devils team. They love to run.
Well, remember, O'Hara and Danowski were kidding each other. Nick saying, hey, I outscored you, Matt. The All-American in the semifinal win over Maryland. Well, now Danowski has answered back. He's got 6 points already here. Face-off numbers. Greg Pizer. Byrne can't handle initially. Jake, the sophomore, regains. Here's Huntley. Only a freshman. Did he ever take a huge check? The highlights we saw from earlier this year in that Duke game by Michael Ward. Bashed him upside the head.
Dragged him down to the turf.
And Huntley still scored to win it in double OT. Perhaps we'll have another thrilling finish here today from Philly. Here's Malo. Had never scored a goal in his career until this year. Big outburst in the playoffs. Nearly throws that away. The younger of the two Pizers, Steven, just a freshman from Long Island. Michael, the third Pizer, the first one through the program, graduating in 03. He was an All-American. Now it's Greg and Stevens' turn. Malo spins, gets free, shoots. Broken up. Casey Carroll with a long stick, made a great play.
Duke so talented off the ground defensively. McDevitt, O'Hara, and Casey Carroll. They get the ball on the ground, and they're so adept scooping it up, carrying it into the offensive zone themselves. What a great play that was by Casey Carroll to block that shot, to step into that lane.
Looking how late the changes here. The midfielders coming on for Mike Preston's team. Everyone getting settled down for Duke. Marshall, Thompson, Cron. Midfield line out for the Blue Devils. Mike Krzyzewski, Coach K, spoke to this team before they left Durham. Said, it's your time. You deserve this championship. You're the best out there. Marshall can't handle it. Here's Greer. Great scoop play. Broke up in the corner. It's off of Greer's body.
Off your leg! That way! No!
And Hopkins will get it back.
No horn! No horn!
Coach, he may have already been out of bounds when he picked it up and threw it.
Win a horn! Win a horn! Let him sub! Let him sub! Let him sub! Get the right number.
Our officials wired for sound.
Coach, I'm all the way up here. He may have already stepped out of bounds with it before he threw it off. I can't tell you that, Coach. I'm all the way up here.
Matt Palin, Terry McNabb, Doug Donovan on the field. We're hearing everything, folks. Tremendous progress in our lacrosse coverage this year from Philadelphia. Benson Irwin, trouble with the ground ball. Still has some space. Collides with a teammate there in LeSueur. Benson grew up in the shadows of Homewood Field, minutes away from the Blue Jays' home in Baltimore. Rabel, a couple of times, hops back in that box to avoid the 10-second call. That clock is running right now on Harrison. If you're outside the restraining box. LeSueur. Rabel, a freshman. Right hand cradle. Sharp angle shot. Fenton, a great save. Going up high on Byrne. The laser beam. How did he possibly track that ball?
86 miles an hour off the face. Counterattack for Duke.
Douglas towards some room. Shoots. A save by Schwartzman. Loose rebound in front. Interference call with possession, and Hopkins will get it. 6th save of the game for him.
That is a free clear. But how about that save by Aaron Fenton? Folks, 86 miles an hour from about 10 yards. You really don't see it. Boom, right off his grill. Rebound in front. It's a crazy scrap. LeSueur puts that between his legs. And then the other end, it was Schwartzman with a nice save. But Fenton, that may get Fenton going. When you get hit in the face like that, it's a little more significant. It'll wake you up. That's a wake-up call he needs.
What do we hear from Aaron Fenton, who's headed to med school? His next academic stop, the last score to settle. That's it with Hopkins today.
Fenton is a local guy, probably feeling the pressure. His hero, Rob Brendamore of the Flyers, big hockey fan.
Pizer for his brother Steven. They get mixed up a bit. Zash, a big hit on Steven Pizer. And the freshman grabs the ground ball. Greg Pizer works LeSueur on a quick stick one-timer. Just missed the target. He was falling down. And Malo, a brilliant backup.
Stay off the field, Joey. And I can't referee that play. He's right there. Now relax.
Speaking of Joe Alberici, we think.
Yes.
The assistant coach of Duke.
Terrific cut by LeSueur. He read Huntley's eyes, flashed down that seam, caught it and redirected it wide.
Coaches Alberici and Presser changing roles this year for Duke made a big difference. Bird lost the handle. Huntley almost a freebie there on a ground ball. Try to rake into this cross. Quick shot.
How did he do that?
Fenton, unbelievable reaction.
How did Huntley get through that scrap with the ball and then generate a shot? Amazing dexterity.
Now it's action speed at midfield. Let's get Candy in hot pursuit. Wait for him, wait for him, wait for him.
Love to take advantage of unsettled situations like that, but they now will set up the half-field offense.
How about Matt Zash? Face-offs. We've seen him score 2 goals, play defense, full sprint that time. Lacrosse is a running game. You want to talk about a fitness level. Matt Zash probably, in terms of NCAA athletes, probably in the 5th percentile in fitness level.
Down, works for Danowski. Zash, saves Schwartzman. Airborne for Greer. Trying to be closest to it, and he barely is. Good effort, though. Candy and Schwartzman. In my mind, right now, Zash is the MVP. He's played so well. 5 points in the semifinals, and today on faceoffs and offense. He's been brilliant. What an effort there from Greer. He knew he was closest to it, but he had to keep his body in bounds.
No, he had to box out Schwartzman. If you run out of bounds right there, you're off the field. You're not eligible.
Down a shot. Schwartzman down low. Great save on Kyle Dow, the former Blue Jay.
Here comes the ride. Look at the double team.
8 saves in the game now for Schwartzman, who's been very tough. In between the pipes, Malo lopes into the offensive end. Steven Peiser. Harrison thought about a shot. Dips in, quick shot, low to high. Saved by Fenton. Brilliant stop, Aaron Fenton, but the outlet thrown away. Now it's a battle at midfield. Free ball.
White ball! White ball! White ball, doggy! White ball!
Yes! Yes. Matt Palin agrees. Hopkins keeps it.
Fenton, excellent save against Harrison. Harrison gave the big pump fake on the outside. The defender respected the shot, and then he basically curled around him towards the inside. Got inside, but couldn't finish. Shooting percentage for Kyle Harrison. Early in his career, only 18%. Now he's around 30% shooter, so he's really put a lot of time to make himself more effective around the net.
For Kyle Berry, the senior, also playing in his final game. He's a local boy from the Haverford School right here in the Philly area. Rabel, it's in! Squeaks by Fenton. Paul Rabel, another. His second of the day.
You all right?
I think Aaron Fenton probably had it.
When I spoke to Coach Petromal about Paul Rabel yesterday, I said, I can't even describe him. His work ethic, his knowledge of the game, said he's got a chance to be incredible. Coming from Coach Petromal, Paul Rabel, only a freshman, put up some big numbers, 23 goals for a freshman, a future superstar. If he were a senior, he'd be selected, I think, in the 1st round of the Major League Lacrosse draft, which comes up this week.
Peiser wins it from Brad Ross. Thing is, Rabel's only a freshman. Born almost entirely deaf in his left ear. Now in his Hopkins classes, has to sit in a certain part of the classroom to make sure he can hear the professors clearly. And growing up playing basketball, had trouble with external sounds at times, focusing on the right sound at the right time, as basketball coaches use hand signals for Paul Rabel to communicate plays.
He was attracted to Hopkins because of Coach Petromal. They both share that amazing dedication and focus.
Harrison never got there. It was blocked first. O'Hara somehow smothered the shot of Kyle Harrison, but his outlet, loose ground ball. Duke and Greer lucky to have that in the offensive half of the field. Danowski double team. Here comes the presence of Candy. Long stick defensive midi. Benson Irwin charging in as well. Under 5 to go. Thrilling 3rd quarter from Philly. One team will stand the tallest and win a national championship. One team takes the silver.
No shot clock in college lacrosse. So Duke will possess here a bit, let their defense rest their legs for maybe 15 or 20 seconds, and now they attack.
Rom on the attack, has Danowski, goal line extended. That's Brett Thompson who scored 1. And Greer is looming. If you watch 25 in blue, watch for a rebound. His hands are unbelievably quick. Here he handles it. A lot of communication going on. Goals are mic'd. The referees mic for sound. You're hearing it all. Swim move Danowski. Cross field too high for Greer. They throw it away.
Danowski's so confident, and Mike Pressler has really given him the keys to this offense this year. Last year as a freshman, he said it took him some time. Danowski said it took him some time to really get up to speed in terms of the college game and the size of the defenders, and he's put on about 12 pounds in the weight room, dedicating himself in the offseason to becoming bigger, stronger, faster, and now he is the best attackman in the nation as a sophomore. Son of a coach, his father, the head coach at Hofstra, so he's got that mental ability, and now he's got the physical skills to match it.
Janine spoke with John Danowski, the Hofstra coach, the other day. John made it very clear that Matt didn't have to go to Hofstra, play for Dad, and in fact prefer to go somewhere else, take the pressure off Matt, and insisted he and Mike Pressler discontinue the series between the two schools, so Matt would have to play against his dad. And sure enough, that's happened. Greg Pizer. It's Barry. Tipsy new shot. Denied by David Evans, the senior. Closest to it is Fenton. David Evans, 6 in the dark jersey, will start a brand new job in investment banking tomorrow morning from Maryland. 7 a.m. he starts. Win, lose, or draw on the national championship game. Now that's ambition.
Very impressed talking to David Evans yesterday. He's the signal caller for this Duke defense. Not recruited, very small for a defender of Duke, because Mike Pressler loves to recruit big, tall, strong defenders, and Evans is only about 5'9". But very impressed with his maturity and his brain, basically, talking to me about the Duke defensive packages.
So that's a partner all lined up, Midtown Manhattan. It starts soon. Some business to attend to first for Evans and Duke. Rolling down toward 2 to go. Fading third quarter clock in a very tight championship game. Last year it was a 14-13. Syracuse win over Navy. Bounce shot. Never got the Schwartzman block first. All right, close defense. Garvey, Pinto, and Watson. Brilliant again. Chris Watson leads for Morrow. And Hopkins has it under 2 to go in the third quarter.
That last play by Duke is really one of their staple plays. It's a 1-4-1 set, and Zach Greer sets a down screen, and the midfielder flares off to the outside. Greer draws so much attention that usually that wing player is wide open.
Kyle Barrett, yet another Hopkins injured player this year. He's battled some ankle problems. Harrison, the burst, trying to get free. Rolling down to a minute left in the quarter.
Harrison and Zash, two of the best in the game. Two absolute old school middies, guys who play offense and defense. Warriors, and Harrison's running off, doesn't like something about his stick.
Kyle Harrison sent that email out to his teammates again this week, reminding them of the pain they felt last year against Syracuse. Matt Rakowski responded to the email first last year when it first came out. We'll talk about it again this week. Pizer scores! Greg Pizer, the bullet. Second of the day with 47 ticks to go in the quarter. Our fifth tie of the afternoon. What a finish we're in for here from Philly.
That ball sizzling to a great spot away from the stick of Aaron Fenton. He senses that the D is giving him too much cushion. Plant that left leg, take your little hop step, boom, let it rip, 87 miles an hour. And now Pizer will take that next draw as Harrison works on his stick. Whether it's a stringing or the plastic, I don't know. Fenton takes a sigh of relief.
Greg Raymond, the senior from Corning, New York. 7th tier of New York State. Helps bring it in. Now it's Pizer, scored moments ago. Up to 8 career NCAA tournament goals for Pizer. He tells us he has the absolute treat of playing with both brothers. Older brother Michael, who's graduated, watching here today. And Steven, who handles now his younger brother, a freshman. Only one of the three who got to play with the other two. That's Johns Hopkins. Barry. Trying to get free at Evans. Barry taking us wide. Rebound scoop right up there by Byrne. John Huntley instead. Jake Byrne hangs on. That'll do it for the end of the quarter.
At the end of 3 quarters of play, the score, the Duke University Blue Devils
45 minutes, not nearly enough to determine a national champion. You will not want to go anywhere. 8-8 game. 1 quarter to follow. We crown a champ next.
I'm right in there. Look, we're in, guys.
Keep it clean on the way in.
Get him down.
Fourth quarter is underway. Pizer passing. Byrne shooting. What a save, Aaron Fenton. On Jake Byrne. Rebound loose for a second. LeSueur almost had it, but helps cause a turnover once again to crease. Interference is going to be the call on LeSueur as he got on the way there.
In the regular season matchup, LeSueur picked a clear off in identical fashion and put it past Fenton. But this is a play-on call. LeSueur interfered with Aaron Fenton. The ref, you heard him say play on, which gives Fenton a free pass to make. And then once LeSueur deflected the pass, the play-on kicks in, and then it's Duke's ball for a free clear. Off the face-off, though, Pizer very aggressive. He loves to rake it forward to himself. He calls his move a laser rake. Puts it out in front. It's a unique move, and it's a very aggressive move.
I got it, Maddie! I got it!
Duke on the attack. Great to hear with Janine, with Dr. Miles Harrison. He was a surgeon in Baltimore, abdominal and chest surgery, his specialties. One in there, shot, Kanowski. Denied through traffic. Now Hopkins the breakout, Benson Irwin. This looks familiar. Little room, wide, shoots, he missed the target. And Hopkins backs it up. Thrilling action for Dave Petromalo Jays to begin the fourth quarter. Imagine the pressure on Coach Petro. Literally snatching victory from the jaws of defeat Saturday. Dramatic fashion. Tying and winning the game against Virginia. The most unlikely scenario you can imagine. Now they're here. Tie game. Fourth quarter. Harrison with his dad watching.
He looks fresh. Harrison looks like he still has his legs, that explosive burst. Well covered that time by O'Hara.
Byrne, bounce shot, scores! Jake Byrne! And Hopkins has its first lead since it was 1-0 on a Rabel talent.
Byrne will isolate against Matt Zash. Spin move, quick release, catches Fenton off guard. The key there for young players is right out of your dodge, right here, boom, you shoot it quickly before the goalie can find the ball. There's a momentary lapse there as a goalie where you can't see the ball in the cross of Jake Byrne. Get it out of your stick right off that dodge.
Carroll gets involved. Zash and Pizer taking the draw.
He's got it, he's got it.
Duke has Nick O'Hara again with a long stick.
Let him walk first, let him walk first.
He ran right through me.
Schwartzman yelling that O'Hara stepped through the crease. O'Hara, what a playmaker he is on those ground balls. Orchard Park, Western New York, Buffalo region.
Thompson for Marshall. Again, delivered Duke offense. A bit of a surprise. Thought we'd see more running and gunning. But the Devils have kept this one close. The nation's top scorer handles down with a right-hand cradle. It's Danowski. Tremendous day so far. Mark closely there. Raymond all over him. Thompson double teamed. Pinto tries to come loose. Danowski somehow grabs it back for Duke. Now it's Marshall, Matt Field eyeing him down.
So Zach Greer has been really taken out of the Duke offense. Off ball. Chris Watson just face guarding him.
15-30 and counting now, Quentin. No Duke goal. They have been really slowed down. Thompson trying to change all that. Stop Nate Schwartzman.
Poor shot location right at the goaltender's stick.
Greg Raymond with a long stick carries in. Here's Huntley. Takes a check from McDevitt, a local product. Many Philly area natives here. Huntley watched by Casey Carroll.
Good defense by Carroll, the way he sits down, nice and low, uses that long pole, and actually gets under the right hand of Kevin Huntley and lifts his entire stick and arms upward.
Freshman Rabel. To the box for Harrison. Kyle telling us he embraces being the role model, being the Michael Jordan of lacrosse. So many know his game. Wants to go on a champion, quick snapshot. Fenton, a great job to shut down the angle and rakes it into his crease to safety. Looked like Kyle was going to pass there and suddenly snapping a shot right on cage.
Harrison, severe angle. He likes his matchup right now.
Forward to midfield, O'Hara. Thought he could have a hit coming from Skakandi. Duke trying to stay onside here. O'Hara, what a job with a long stick. And Duke calls timeout with 10:40 to go in our national championship game. When as a freshman, you had 21 saves, the 7th and last title you played with Dave Petramala. You know how much it means to him.
He's gone through an evolution. As a coach, he's a lot different than he was as a player. He's talked this year about developing chemistry with his team and the adjustments he's made. You saw that package of all those playoff losses. He's taken things a bit easier on his team. Shortened up practices. He's given them off a lot of time on Mondays. He's limited the structured hours, shortened the season, keep them mentally and physically fresh.
Meanwhile, what has happened to Duke here? 17.5 minutes and counting, and no goal for Duke. The nation's leading offensive team. Now trying to change that. Danowski fires and missed the target. Field try to get closest to it. Dow beat him by a stride, and Duke keeps the ball.
Danowski, a two-time finalist, along with Kyle Harrison. These two guys vying to be the best player in the nation. And Danowski, big afternoon so far. 2 goals, 4 assists.
Real drought for Duke in. Down by 1, under 10 to go. National championship game.
You hear Schwartzman calling eagle, and that means an early slide. The E in eagle stands for early. So look for Hopkins to double quickly.
Zash. Thought about a jump pass. Flannery. Danowski.
Eagle guard! Eagle guard! Eagle!
Lomedy sets it up. Watch by Matt Field. Lomedy to the cage. Flannery. Danowski a spin. Trying to get loose for the patented shot. Watson all over him. Danowski, bouncer. That's wide. What defense by Chris Watson.
Good scouting by Hopkins. They know when Dowd takes the ball behind the cage, the ultimate target is going to be Matt Danowski in front. Coach Petramala said we looked at 6 or 7 tapes. And when Dowd pushes from this back corner, number 40 is the primary guy he's looking to.
Matt Field, short stick, defensive midi, all over Dowd. 19 minutes now and counting. No goals for Duke. Danowski from Greer. 12:43 to go. 3rd quarter. That was the last time they scored. It's been that long. Lomedy. Danowski, sharp angle, shut down Schwartzman, great save. Bodies everywhere.
Free clear.
Interference call. Danowski was in the crease. Watson ended up in his own net. And Hopkins gets a free clear.
Excellent, excellent save by Schwartzman. Danowski, here's the isolation. Look at Matt Field giving him some attention. But then they give him a little seam there. He finds a cushion. Misses his shot, and his effort, his motor is always running. Challenging. Reaction.
Great look from our crew with the big scoreboard behind Dave Petramala. See the clear numbers. Rabel and Byrne will work here. Hopkins and Nora shot by a goal in control of the game's pace. What would a championship mean for Rakowski, the former Duke player? Finishing his great career as a Blue Jay. Rabel, the freshman. Down low, Rakowski. Tried to spin and shoot move, but it was way off the mark.
Step in!
And Lesueur backed it up.
It's not the shot you want to take.
Close games. Coach Petro's team has done well. What a play that was by Harrison, just off the trigger play a second ago. Barely stayed in bounds, tiptoeing along the sideline. Close games. Hopkins has had 4 overtime games this year, obviously. As a 15-0 team, they're undefeated in OT, including Saturday's incredible heart stopper against Virginia. Fenton on a ground ball.
Hopkins has won 11 of their last 12 one-goal games. They're 9-2 in overtime during that span.
O'Hara's hit by Rabel. Nick gets free. Ward feeding in front. Danowski was open, but his cross was checked last second. Pinto got a piece of Matt Danowski. It's a turnover.
No time to panic if you're Duke. Still tons of time in this ball game. Mike Pressler has 1 timeout remaining. Petramala has 2.
21 plus minutes. As we see turnover numbers. 21 plus, no goals for Duke now. The drought continues. Saw a little sag on the shoulder there from Danowski. Thought he had that one set up for an easy, quick stick goal. Byrne goal line extended. Was posted by Douglas, the great short stick midi for Duke. Who falls? Lesueur. Ball moves around. Greg Pizer winds, and it's just off. Backed up nicely again by Hopkins, though. Keeper under 6 left in the 4th.
Excellent, excellent recovery by the Duke defense off of Douglas slipping. They're forced to rotate their defense. Slide, rotate, and recover are 3 big words when you're talking about how to play defense.
Here's Malo. For the cage. Check from his stick last second. Douglas a piece of him. Ball's loose. Can anyone rake it free? Fenton a whack at it.
Ball's loose! Wait to the crease! Blue ball!
You heard it clearly. Crease violation goes against Hopkins, and Duke gets it.
There's Fenton. That's his ball when it's near the crease.
Pick it up. Let's go.
The defenders are taught to take their man, take the body, leave the ball there for the goaltender. And that whole play was started by a great one-handed wrap check by Michael Ward. The short stick defender for Duke is just so aggressive.
Janine, what do you have down there?
Well, guys, I can tell you for the first time all weekend, the mood here on the Duke bench is decidedly quiet, and I actually see concern on their faces. The mood has changed dramatically here.
A lot of pressure, Janine, on the sidelines. We know how much this means to Dave Petramo on Duke. Is in a situation trying to win its first ever title. Duke has missed Cage on its last 9 shots. One key reason, the drought continues to expand for the Blue Devils here. And their first team All-American. Danowski change all that. Nation's leading point scorer. Garvey's all over him. Now it's Marshall. Look at the drought. 23 plus minutes.
Crom's very fast. When he gets ahead of speed, he's very fast.
The field's all over him. Crom gets the pick. Has Flannery set up. So worried about a turnover. Very cautious offense from Duke here. Little gun shy as the offense struggles. Crom. Behind the cage, Danowski, a high pass. Matt brings it in. Right hand cradle. Quick shot. Schwartzman a save. On frustrated Matt Danowski.
Wow, Schwartzman was all over that one. A little too much standing around on offense for Duke in that possession. It was all isolation-based, not much off-ball movement. Petramala's got both his timeouts now, so he's got to manage this possession. If it was up to him, he'd end the ball on this possession, end the game, on this possession right here.
He could do it. He's got to stay in that box. Eventually, officials will tell him to stay in their restraining box to avoid the delay of game. 2-minute mark, that's coming up here. Duke has 1 timeout left in a 1-goal game. Second half shot numbers. Hopkins is taking control. Next goal is huge. Harrison free. Kyle Harrison had it checked loose last second, and Fenton rakes it in. Big outlet pass. Here come the running gun Devils. In desperate need of a goal. Under 3 minutes left in the national championship game.
That was not a smart push to the goal by Kyle Harrison. You didn't need a goal there. You're trying to work the clock.
Greer behind Thompson, huge turnover. And Harrison scoops up an unbelievably enormous ground ball to Candy. That was big.
I'm watching.
25 minutes and no goal for Duke. Unbelievable. The nation's top-ranked offense has been shut down to this point. At 2 minutes. Hopkins will hear it. 2 minutes, they got to keep it in the box. Heiser. Can Hopkins just hang on and win a championship? Evans on him.
Eventually, Aaron Fenton's going to have to come out of the net here and double team. Duke can't afford to sit back here. You got to throw some checks, get the ball on the ground.
90 seconds left. Is Petrobal going to use the timeout?
Yes, he will, as soon as the double team comes. And here it is.
Fenton is out of the cage. And there is a whistle.
Timeout.
Duke waited at least a minute too long. As soon as the 2-minute clock hit, they should have ramped up their defense there and stretched to their adjacent men and really turned up the pressure.
Now it is Jesse's turn. And we spoke with Jesse at practice the other day. He felt so comfortable. He just had the feeling he was in control of his own destiny. It's been that way.
Hopkins fans on their feet. Look for the quick double team right now. A couple ways you can defend this. You can set a pick. Harrison can try to use his blinding speed. Keep in mind that Petromala still has another timeout. So if things don't go his way immediately, he'll call a timeout here right away.
18 here. You're here. Back off.
Benson Irwin is on the field.
Right there.
Yes, well, he's on the field. He's going to stay balanced to then get back on defense.
He's an offensive short stick mini. Play triggered.
Keep it in.
Got to keep it in the box. Fenton out of the goal. Harrison to win it. Side of the net. Didn't go in. Trying to put it away in his final game. Kyle Harrison missed the target. Unbelievable. Huntley will take his time. Fenton is back in between.
Smarter play by Huntley not to shoot there. You don't need a goal.
A minute left. A penalty coming on Zash and Duke. Another flag. McDevitt runs over Huntley.
Go ahead.
I got 44 with a push.
I got 10 with a hold. 44 blue with a push, 10 blue with a hold. 10, 44 push, 10. You got 10 with a what? Hold. 44 and 2
to 30.
You heard it.
Yeah.
2 technical 30-second fouls.
Didn't happen, right? Technical. 44 in the blue with a push, number 10 with a hold. 2 penalties, 44 blue. Just a second, coach. 44 blue, it's a push. 10 is a hold.
Petromala shouldn't waste the timeout here. He should talk to his troops right now. He's being given time to get organized. Use this time. He could easily have gotten organized here while the refs were discussing this. The last shot by Harrison, I've got to tell you, this is not a smart shot. And Hopkins lost a heartbreaker in 1997 to this Duke Blue Devil team in a quarterfinal game when Andrew Godfrey took a similar shot that was blocked by a defender and Duke scored the other end. That's the second foul.
Wait time.
The first was a hold, the second was clearly a push.
You got 10 to get it in, and you have to keep it in. And you're out of timeouts.
There's a game reset for our officials.
I think
54.4 seconds officially. 10 seconds for Kyle Harrison to get in the box. It's a 2-man advantage. It's 6-on-4. Duke is desperate. They must have a turnover, or Hopkins will just salt this one away and win a championship. Harrison. Down to 30, a double team. Cage is open. Huntley some room. Cage isn't protected. Now Fenton's back in, 20 seconds. Penalties release. Back to 6 aside. Keep away for Hopkins. Here's Lasour. He's hit with 13 seconds left. Trying to get free. Ball on the ground. 7 seconds. A whistle.
Ball's loose. Blue push. Wait.
A Duke push with 5 seconds left. That's off between Coach Petramala and a championship.
Out here. Outside.
For the first time since 1987, Johns Hopkins is a national champion. It is Blue Jay Way in Philadelphia. The school has won its 8th national championship. A dream realized for Dave Petramala.
A senior class that changed the landscape of Hopkins lacrosse. And the Ghosts were out to get him on Saturday. Miraculously, they won that game. And then today it was a strong performance, especially late by that goaltender right there, Jesse Schwartzman. So cool, so calm, so gutsy between the posts. And Petramala then managed the game as he always does. The 1-goal victory has been a Hopkins signature for the last 2 or 3 years.
Kyle Harrison has finally done it. The senior class, 55-6 over 4 years, and finally a national championship. And elated coach Dave Petramala, joined by Janine Edwards.
Coach, Duke was not shy when they said they wanted to play you in this final, and they came out swinging. What was the turning point of the game for you guys?
Well, first off, you ought to be careful what you wish for. Our kids have a lot of heart, and credit to Duke. They're a great team. Mike Presley's been great with his team. They've done an unbelievable job. But we just kept plugging. We buckled down defensively in the second half and did a much better job, and we won some face-offs. I think that was the difference.
You've been the #1 seed for 4 years now. You finally got your national championship. How does it feel?
It feels great. I'm so proud and happy for these kids and our fans and families and administrations. Words can't describe it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
For the 11th time in NCAA history, a team has gone undefeated to a national championship. The first time since Princeton in '97. #1 wire to wire from the preseason to a championship. And they take it by a goal, leading us to the Pontiac high performance moment.
The celebration between longtime friends, Benson Irwin, the hero on Saturday, and Kyle Harrison, who had the hat trick today. And there is Harrison, who has taken this program on his shoulders for the past 4 years. Taken so much of the heat and the criticism and the pressure, and says, you know, this is what I want. It's why I came to Hopkins. And he gets to smile right now. Undefeated season. Showed up today, and there's his proud father, who played lacrosse at Morgan State in the early 1970s. And when we talked to him, said, I never dreamed that my son would actually get the opportunity to play lacrosse at such a high level. Kyle turned down scholarships to play basketball to come to Hopkins.
And for 10 other seniors like Peter Lasour, 29 in white, unbelievable celebration. The race to Philadelphia gave us 4 teams. And now Jesse Schwartzman and the Jays know it is all over. Johns Hopkins, national champion, the 2005 lacrosse season.